When the world falls apart, many people picture trading goods like in the old days, simple, fair, and based on mutual trust. The idea of bartering seems almost nostalgic, a return to basics where neighbors exchange food, tools, and services when money is worthless. But the reality is far more complicated and a lot more dangerous. Bartering after a major collapse isn't just about swapping goods, it's about navigating a fragile, high-stakes web of trust, scarcity, and ever-present risk. What seems like a straightforward solution quickly becomes a complex challenge that can threaten your very survival. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover the hidden challenges of bartering that almost no one talks about. Why would we even need to barter in the first place? Imagine a scenario where a global crisis hits. It could be an economic meltdown, a massive natural disaster, or a widespread conflict. Banks shut their doors, digital transactions freeze, and the cash in your pocket suddenly becomes just paper. In this chaos, the finely tuned supply chains we rely on every single day would snap. Grocery store shelves would be empty within hours, pharmacies would run out of medicine, and gas stations would dry up. Without access to money or credit, people would have no choice but to revert to the oldest form of commerce, bartering, trading goods and services directly to get what they need. This shift wouldn't be gradual. It could happen with shocking speed, spreading through towns and cities as trust in the formal systems we've built our lives on evaporates completely. Bartering becomes the default economy, born out of pure necessity. But as you'll see, it's not just a simple swap of items. There's a hidden web of trust and risk that you need to understand to even have a chance of navigating this new world. In a post-collapse economy, trust isn't just a nice-to-have, it becomes the new currency. Your reputation is everything. A single bad deal, one broken promise, or a rumor that you're dishonest can completely ruin your ability to trade. Your name and your word become your most valuable assets. When survival is on the line every single day, people become incredibly cautious. They'll constantly be weighing who they can rely on and who poses a threat. Trust isn't given freely. It has to be earned through consistent honesty, fairness, and reliability. In this environment, you'll likely see tight-knit communities form, small groups where everyone knows each other's history and character. Inside these groups, trade might flow more easily, but if you're an outsider, you'll be met with deep suspicion. People will wonder, where did you come from? Why are you here? Can we trust you? This invisible currency of trust can make or break entire barter networks. It will determine who gets the food, who gets the medicine, and who gets left out in the cold. And when trust is already so fragile, any disagreement can ignite a serious conflict. This brings us to one of the biggest practical hurdles. How do you determine value? Is a jar of homemade jam worth a box of antibiotic cream? Is an hour of fixing a generator equal to a bag of potatoes? In a world without dollars and cents, value becomes incredibly fluid and subjective. What something is worth changes constantly based on scarcity, immediate needs, and the specific situation. A warm blanket is worth far more on a freezing night than on a hot summer day. A bottle of clean water is priceless to someone who is dehydrated, but less valuable to someone living next to a clean spring. This uncertainty forces survivors into constant, stressful negotiations. Every trade is a strategic decision where both parties have to weigh their options. Is this a fair deal? Could I get a better trade from someone else? Am I being ripped off? Without a standard currency to act as a benchmark, there are no fixed prices, only perceived value that can vary wildly from person to person and from one day to the next. These valuation disputes can easily turn friendly exchanges into hostile standoffs. Simple trades become a minefield of potential conflict. On top of trust and value, there's another layer of danger: security. In a world without a functioning police force or legal system, every trade carries a significant risk. When you show up to trade, you're not just revealing the goods you have, you're also revealing that you have something worth taking. Theft, fraud, and outright violence become common threats in barter systems. Desperate people do desperate things, and protecting your goods and yourself becomes a constant, exhausting challenge. Traders have to be constantly vigilant. You might have to rely on community alliances or your own ability to defend yourself and your family. The absence of formal security means that disagreements can escalate with terrifying speed, sometimes turning deadly over something as simple as a can of food. This constant danger forces survivors to develop new strategies for safe exchanges. You might need to meet in neutral, public locations, or you might only trade within a small, trusted network. Every stranger is a potential threat, and every trade is a calculated risk. So, How can you possibly prepare for this? It might seem overwhelming, but preparation is your best defense. To thrive in a barter economy, you need to start thinking differently right now. First and foremost, build your trust network. Connect with reliable, like-minded people in your local community. Get to know your neighbors. Participate in community groups. Build a reputation for being honest and helpful. In a collapse, these relationships will be more valuable than gold. Next, learn how to value goods realistically. Pay attention to what people need and what is likely to become scarce. This means thinking beyond just food and water. Things like medical supplies, tools, batteries, fuel, and seeds for gardening will be in high demand. Develop practical, versatile skills. Can you fix things? Do you have medical knowledge? Can you purify water, preserve food, or defend yourself? Skills are weightless, can't be easily stolen, and can be your ticket to getting what you need. A good mechanic or a former nurse will be one of the most valuable people in any community. Then, stockpile smart. Focus on items that hold consistent value and are in high demand. We're talking about things like lighters, antibiotics, alcohol for disinfection and morale, salt, sugar, and coffee. These items are often called vice goods, but they will be incredibly powerful bargaining chips. And finally, always prioritize security. Think ahead about how and where you would conduct a trade safely. Never trade alone. Never reveal the full extent of your supplies. Avoid dealing with strangers who seem desperate or untrustworthy. By preparing now, you can build the knowledge and resources to navigate the complexities of barter with confidence. Understanding these harsh realities today can mean the difference between survival and desperation tomorrow. Bartering after a collapse is not a simple return to the good old days. It's a complex, risky, and absolutely vital survival skill. In a world where our familiar systems have failed, your adaptability and realistic preparedness are what matter. Those who understand the hidden challenges of trust, valuation, and security will have a massive advantage. The future will belong to those who prepare wisely, who build strong networks of trust, and who cultivate valuable skills. Embracing this new economy of survival means facing these difficult truths head-on and making smart choices before it is too late. Your ability to navigate the dangerous but necessary world of bartering could be the single most important factor in determining your fate. The time to learn, prepare, and connect is now. Thanks for watching. If you found this information valuable, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future guides on being prepared. Stay safe out there.